Hello students. In the last class we have discussed with basics of CSS and syntax of the CSS and what are the various selectors in CSS and how can we add our CSS into the HTML page. Those are and how to write HTML CSS comments. Today's topic is what are the various CSS properties. We have lot of properties in CSS, but some of the properties I want to discuss here in today's session. So the first property of the CSS is in today's session, CSS background. How can we style background of the web page? Okay, by using CSS background property. So this property is used to define background effects on element. Okay, in HTML element we can define background effect by using CSS background style property. There are 5 CSS background properties. Those are background color, background image, background repeat, background attachment, and background position. So what is first property is what is a CSS background color. So by using this color, we can set background color. Okay, how can we define background color? So this is the way we can define background color property. So value is color. Okay, you can write here color name or hexadecimal value of color or RGB value of the color. You can find the table in textbook. You can read the color codes of HTML, XML, color codes in hexadecimal format and RGB, or simply you can write color name. Okay, this is a common thing. HTML head in style. I want to style a heading 2 and paragraph with background color blue. Okay, I'm closing my style, then head. In body, I am defining H2 and P. So the output is obviously with background color blue. Okay, this is heading and this is paragraph. This is first property in background, CSS background. The second one is background image. So by using this property, we can set image in the background of any HTML element. Okay, the thing is, the property is background image. Okay, I want to put image for the body, the background. Okay, so for the entire body, I want to put background image by using background image property. So this property will take the value of any image, but with the URL. Here you have to specify the URL. Clear? Margin left is 100 pixels. This is another property. This is used to fix your margin to the left side. Okay, so background image property is used to set background image. So for whom I want to set here? For body element. So entire page will take background image as some laptop.jpg. This is URL. Here if you save the program and images in the same folder, you can simply write image name here. Otherwise, if your images are in another folder but your program is in one folder, you have to specify the exact URL or exact path of your image. Clear? This is the program HTML head style, and I have something in my body, but my background image is for the body is laptop.jpg. Okay, now I will execute this program. Okay, so background image. Background image, this is the program. This is our actual program, right? Body, background image, some URL. So you have to check whether this image is in the same folder or not. Yes. Here I have one image with laptop name. the program and the image are in the same folder. That's why no need to mention any other path of the image here. Both are in the same folder. That's why you can easily write laptop. Image name here is enough. Now I will execute this program. We will check whether the image is in the background or not. Yes, I'm running the program. Yes, clear. This is our hello welcome to this image is our data, and the background image is laptop. Why so many times is the resolution of the image is very low? That's why we will get number of pictures in the background. Okay, this is what how we can set background image for the HTML. So the next property in background is the background repeat. Okay, we can repeat our image either horizontally or vertically in the background by using background repeat property. Okay, so by default the background image property repeats the background image horizontally and vertically. Some images are repeated only horizontally or vertically. Okay, by default every image is repeated both vertically and horizontally, but by using this property we can set our background image either it repeats either horizontally or either vertically. Okay, this is background repeat property. Okay, if we want to repeat our image horizontally, you have to use this property background repeat as repeat x. Repeat x. Or if you want to repeat your image vertically, you have to write here repeat y. This is the only thing we have to add for the program. Same background for the body background image, same image, but I want to repeat that image as horizontal. That's why I'm mentioned here repeat x. The second program I'm just mentioned vertical as a repeat y. Okay, these are the two programs for horizontally and vertically. We will check whether both are executed or not. This program is for horizontally repeating and this program is for vertically repeating. Same program, but the small changes here repeat x for horizontally and here repeat y for the vertically. Just observe the program. HTML head style in style. I'm styling body element with background image laptop and background repeat as repeat x. Okay, I'm just executing this program. All of you observe carefully. Yes, this is horizontal repeat of the image. Got it? Clear? So the next program is vertical repetition. This is vertical repeating. I'm running the program now. This is vertical repetition. The previous case, this is horizontal. In this case, this is vertical. Okay, this is what we can use background repeat either horizontal or vertical. If you do not mention repeat here, that means by default both horizontally and vertical. So the next background property is CSS background attachment. Okay, by using this property we can specify our background image as either it is fixed or scroll. Okay, with the rest of the page in browser window. So the background attachment property is used to specify if the background image is fixed or scroll with the rest of the page in the browser window. That means if you have any image in your browser, if you specify your attachment as a scroll, this image also will be scrolled along with the web page. If you do not specify, if you specify as the fixed, this image will not be scrolled. Okay, that is the actual idea of background attachment. So this is the program. We can set background image as like this in the same same as in the previous program. Background repeat, I don't want to repeat, that's why I'm mentioning no repeat. Background attachment, is fixed. Okay, that means your image will not be scrolled along with the web page. This is margin left 200 pixels. So what is pixel here? Margin left means this is left side. Left side of the page length is 200 pixels width. Okay. So what is the next program? Background attaching as fixed. So no scrolling here. If you observe here, body with background image and background repeat, no repeat, but background attachment with fixed value. Okay, I'm running here. Okay, no scrolling of the image here. This is the output of your program. Clear? Are you clear? Okay. So the next background property is a background position. So we can set our image either in the top or in the bottom or left or right or at the center by using background position property. By using background position property, we can set our image at some place, either it is in the center or top or bottom or left or right. Okay. Here in style, you have to mention same thing: background image, background repeat, no repeat, background attachment, fixed, background position. If you mention your background position as a center, your image will be automatically comes into the center. If you specify here left, your image will be in the left side. If you specify here as right, your image will be at the right. If you specify here top, your image will be on the top. If it is bottom, your image on the bottom. So the next program, this one, we will check. Okay, background image position. Okay, in the style, body, background image, repeat, no repeat, attachment fixed, background position is center. Clear? Something we have in the body section. You can write anything here, but our main target is how to style the elements. I want to style body element here with background position center. That means your image will be at the center. Okay, I'm just running my program here. Are you clear to you? Image at the center. Got my point? This is what how to write programs. Background position center. After this CSS background properties over, I'm repeating again how many properties we have. 5 properties in background. Those are background color, background image. We can set background color, and by using background image we can set image in the background, and background repeat for either it is vertically or horizontally, and background attachment means we can fix the image or we can scroll the image along with the web page. Last one is background position. We can set image position either to the left or right or bottom or top or the center. These are the background properties in CSS. So the next property in CSS is font. How can we write fonts in HTML? By using CSS? Okay. CSS font property is used to control the look of text. That means we can change the look of the text of the HTML page. Okay. So what are the various properties of CSS font? Okay. Those are CSS font color, CSS font family, CSS font size, CSS font style, and font weight. By using font color property, we can change the color of the text. By using family, we can change the face of the font or text. Family means it is Times New Roman, Arial, any family. Size, we can decrease or increase the size of the font or text. We can change the style of the font or text. Style in the sense either it is italic or bold or oblique. Finally, weight, we can increase or decrease the boldness or lightness of the font by using this property. We'll check all these properties. Okay, the first property is CSS font color. How can we use font color? Simple thing. I want to style body and H1, H2 and P. Okay, I want to size our font in the body with 100%. You can specify either in the pixels form or percentile form here size. I want to make H1 color as red, H2 color is some value, and P color is some value. Okay, we can specify color. I already told you we can specify color in 3 ways. Either you can directly write color name, or you can mention hexadecimal code, or you can mention your RGB code of the color. Okay, in 3 ways we can mention the color of the text. Directly you can write color name or hexadecimal value of the color or RGB value of the color. Okay, we will check. In body I have headings and paragraph. The first one is I am mentioning my H1 color as red. That's why first heading is red. Okay, the color code of this hexadecimal is, the H2 color is this one. Okay, blue color. The last color is for P is green. Okay, or simply you can write here, directly you can mention in blue and green here, both are valid. Okay, that's your wish, which thing you want to use you can use. This is font color. So the next property is font family. Okay, in CSS font family we have two types. One is a generic family and the second one is font family. Okay, in generic family we have 3 styles: serif and sans serif and monospace. In font family you can specify either it is in Times New Roman or Arial, any family. Here you can find families. These are all the families. You can specify any family. Okay, so a serif is nothing but it includes small lines at the end of the characters. If you check the output you can see the difference between serif and non-serif and monospace. Serif is nothing but it includes small lines at the end of the characters. For example, Times New Roman characters or Georgia characters. Sans serif, it doesn't include any small lines at the end of the characters. Monospace is nothing but all the characters have the same width. Okay, we will check serif, non-serif and monospace. Okay, the first one is, okay, the first one, H1 will take the value as a sans serif, H2 is serif, paragraph is monospace. Sans serif means it doesn't include any lines at the end of the characters. Okay, so serif style, sans serif style will be like this. It doesn't have any lines at the end of the characters. That means if you type S here, that means any letter, any character doesn't have any small lines at the end of the characters. But if you look at carefully, look at this one, this heading is shown in serif. Serif style, every character has very small lines at the end of the characters. I will say increase the size, then you can easily identify the difference. Okay, these are the small lines at the end of the characters. Here it's, but here no lines at the end of the characters. You got my point? A small lines at the end of the character is serif style. There is no small lines at the end of the character is non-serif style, I mean sans serif style. Okay, that is the difference. Monospace means all the characters have the same width. Okay, this is monospace. Like this, you can specify the font family by using font family properties. Okay, CSS font family. Okay, so the next property is font size. We can specify the size of the font by using uh, so many values like xx small, that is extremely small, or x small, that is extra small, or small, or medium, or large, extra large, xx large, or smaller, larger, or you can specify in the form of pixels font size. Okay, pixels you can write percentiles or pixels, 20 pixel or 200%. So any value, large, extra large, small, extra small, or pixels px are in percentile form. In any style you can mention the font size. So if you write program like this, the output is like this. This is for extremely small, extra small, small, medium, large, extra large, extremely large, with pixels, with percentiles, with pixels. Like this you can specify the font size, that is font size property. The next one is font style. You can specify your font style as italic, or as oblique, as normal. Anything you can follow here. Okay, if you write program like this, either your heading style is italic or oblique or normal. If you clearly observe thing, remaining all the code is same, but the only change is how we can style our elements. Okay, this is the new thing. The remaining thing is same as for the previous program. Okay, so this is italic, and this is oblique, and this is normal. Okay, these are the various styles. We can set font style by using these properties. So the last one is how can we set font weight. Weight is nothing but, if you see the output, then you can understand. This is weight. We can increase or decrease. We font bold and lighter value. Okay, then how can we specify weight value in CSS? You can specify your weight value by writing attributes like CSS font weight property defines the weight of the font and specify that how bold a font is. Okay, the possible values of font weight may be, so we can specify font weight as by using normal as normal, or bold, or bolder, or lighter. You can use these four values or any number from 100 to 900. Are you clear? You can specify normal, bold, bolder, lighter, or any number from 100 to 900. By using this, you can write program. In body, I want to style this paragraph, I want to style with font weight bold, and this paragraph I want to style with bolder, this program with lighter, and this program with this paragraph with values. These paragraphs with values. Like that, we can write our font weight. Okay, so the next property is CSS border. How can we style our border by using CSS border properties? Okay, CSS border properties are used to specify style, color, and size of the border of an element. If you want to draw a border for any element in HTML, you can draw, and you can style that border by using these properties. Okay, how to style borders? So we have some properties in CSS border: border style, border color, border width, and border radius. So what is border style? You can specify which style of your border. That means a solid line, or dotted line, or thin line, thick line, anything you can specify by using border style property. By using border color, we can specify our border color. By using border width, we can increase or decrease width of the border, and also border radius. Okay. So the first one is border style. So the border style property is used to specify the border type. Okay. Type means anything, either it is dotted or dashed or solid or double line or groove line or ridge line, inset, outset, and hidden. These are the various border styles. Okay. If you mention style, one paragraph with none and another paragraph with dotted, p dot dashed, p dot star solid means all these properties for paragraphs with some class names. Okay. This is class selector. If you remember selectors, you can understand this is the class selector. I want to style one paragraph with none. I want to style another paragraph with dotted. So, and another paragraph with border style dashed, another paragraph with border style solid, another paragraph with border style double, all those things. Here you have to mention, you can write all the programs, but you have to specify what is your paragraph class. So the first paragraph class is none, second one is dotted, third one dashed, solid, double. Clear? Just observe clearly. Okay. This is the program. Just style your paragraphs with border lines. Okay. These are the things. Clear? Just observe carefully. Okay. So this is the output of your program. One is with dotted, another one is dashed, one is solid, double, groove, ridge, inside, outside, hidden, border. Okay. That is the border style, first property. Second one is how can we set width of the border. Okay. We can set border width by using border width property. Now how to use border width property? Without creating border, you cannot set your border width, right? That's why before using border width property, you must create a border. You have to remember this key point, that is note point. The border width property is not used alone. By alone, we cannot use this property. It is always used with other border properties like border style. Why border style? Before set your border width, you have to create a border, right? How to create a border? By using border style property. Okay, this is a note point you have to remember. So example is, I am styling 3 paragraphs with 3 classes p.1, p.2, p.3. The first paragraph border style is a solid and width 5 pixels. Second one style is a solid and border width is medium. Third border style also solid but width is 1 pixel. First paragraph style width is 5 pixel. Second paragraph width is medium. Third paragraph width is 1 pixel. This is program. You just observe here. Okay. So first paragraph class is 1, second paragraph class is 2, 3. So first paragraph is with width 5 pixel. This is medium. This is 1 pixel. This is the output of your font border width. Okay. So the next property is border color. How can we set border color? I already told you we can specify our colors by using names or RGB values or with hexadecimal values. There are 3 ways we can set color. So color also alone we cannot use. Before setting the color, we must create border. That is the note point you have to remember here. Border color property is cannot used alone. We have to create border first. So this is the example program. The first paragraph with red color, second paragraph with green color. Okay, very simple program. So first one with red, second one with green. The last property in today's session is CSS image. Okay, how can we use the CSS image property? Okay, so the first property is, by using images, what we can do, we can make our web page as beautiful by using CSS image. We can place our image at some place, either it is in left, right, or center, or top, or bottom, and we can give some borders to our images. We can set height and width of our images. All those things we can do. So the first property of CSS image is thumbnail image. What is thumbnail image? A thumbnail image is a small image that represents a larger image. That means if you click on that image, next page will be opened with a large image. Okay, I will explain. Okay, the border property is used to make a thumbnail image. So border property is used to make your thumbnail image. So this is the program. Here I want to style something, image element, border 2 pixels solid red, border radius 5 pixels, padding 10 pixel. You know what is padding? Heading color is red. Okay, in body heading something, by using anchor tag, I specify target as blank. I'm writing link as href hyperlink reference as laptop.jpg image. If I click on this image, that image will be shown as a larger image in the next page. Okay, so the source of that image is here. You can specify image source, alternate as laptop, and style width as 150 pixel. You know what is alternate? We already learned in the HTML properties. Alt property, alt attribute is used to specify your image name whenever your image will not be displayed on the screen. If your image is displayed on the screen, the name will be displayed there by using alt attribute. The style width is 150 pixels. Okay, I will explain this program. So this is the program. So we want to style our image. We want to style our image with border and border radius and padding. ST as color red. If I run this program, okay, this is our output. If you click on this image, that thing will be displayed as a larger image. That is our concept of thumbnail image, right? All of you observe here, I'm clicking on the small image. Click. Yes, it's shown to you. Yes, if you click on this, your image will be open in the next page with a larger size. Okay, this is what is thumbnail image property. The next one is a transparent image. So what do you mean by transparent image? Do you know what is that? If I will show you what is transparent image. Image will be shown like this, some hidden image. Okay, image fully we cannot see the image. Okay, this is a transparent image. So how can we make an image as transparent? To make an image as transparent, we have to use the opacity property. By using this property, we can make our image as a transparent. Okay, the value of this opacity is from 0.0 to 1.0. If you specify this property value is something between 0.0 to 1.0, your image will be converted into the transparent mode. Okay, this is the program for transparent. Up to this common, I want to style my image as with border 2 pixels solid red, 2 pixels solid red, border radius as 5 pixels, padding 10 pixels, opacity value is 0.3. Okay, opacity value is 0.3. H2 color is red. Same thing, image source is laptop.jpg, headings. Okay, I'm running this program. How can we make our image as transparent? If you observe here, this is the program. I want to style my image with border radius and padding opacity. This should be must opacity value. And this is the HTML code. Heading, this is image, and another one heading. Okay. If you run this program, this is the output. These two are headings. This is our transparent image with border. Once again, look at this program. Okay. In this way, we can make our image as a transparent. Got my point? You have to use this property, opacity. Okay. So the next image property is a rounded image. How can we create a rounded image? By using CSS. Okay, the border radius property is sets the radius of the border image. Border radius property sets the radius of the border image. It is used to create the rounded image. So by using border radius property, we can create rounded images. Okay. So the possible values for the rounded corners are these things. So the first property is border radius. Second one is border top right radius, border top left radius, border bottom right radius, border bottom left radius. Okay. So border radius, it sets all of the 4 border radius property. By using border radius, we can set all the sides of the border. Border top right radius, it sets border of the top right corner. We can set our image top right corner border by using top right radius. This is for top left and this is for bottom right, this is for bottom left. Okay. We can make our image as a round shape. Then how can we make? This is the code. So first one is img1, second one is img2. So I want to style image one as with border 2 pixels solid green. Border radius 10 pixels is meant for all 4 sides have same radius with 10 pixels, padding 5 pixels. Second image with border 2 pixels solid green, border radius means all the sides with 50%, padding 10 pixels. Second heading color is something. So we have to use 2 images. First image, that means ID image 1. I'm using here ID selector, that is laptop.jpg. Second image also laptop.jpg with image 2 property, image 2 style. We will check the output, how these 2 images will be looks like. So this is the code for that program, rounded image. Okay, same program I'm copy and paste here. img1 and img2, these are the ID selectors. So I am using img1 for this image and img2 for the second image. Both images are laptop.jpg here only, but we can see how looks like, how these 2 pictures looks like. Once again observe here, img1 and img2. Here border radius 10 pixel, here border radius is 50 pixel. This is green, this is also green, padding is same, but here radius 50%, here radius is 10 pixels. That is the only change. I'm running the program. Are you clear? This is the difference. Both are the rounded images only. This is rounded image and this is the circle image. Okay. If you specify 10 pixels, the image will be like this. Specify border radius as 50%, the image will be like this. You can change according to your properties. Okay, border left radius, bottom right, bottom left, and top right. You can specify all these properties. You can practice at your home. Okay. The next one is a responsive image. So the meaning for the responsive image is it automatically adjusts to fit on the screen size. Okay, whatever the image it is, it automatically fits to your screen size. Okay, then how can we use this image property? So id selector img1, max width 100%, height is auto. By using this one, we can fix our image adjusted to fit the screen size. Okay, by using height property as auto. Okay, I'm executing this program. This is the program. Okay, img1. So image source is laptop only. id img1, id selector with the width 1000, height 300. Okay, now I am running this program. This is what, how can we fix the fit your image into the screen size. Clear? These are all the css properties. The first time, oh sorry, the last property is center an image. How can we center an image? Okay, we can center an image by using margin left and margin right properties. By using these properties, we can fix our image at the center. Okay, we have to set these properties to auto in order to make a block element. Okay. Okay, so the first ID is img1, margin left auto, margin right auto, display as block, h1 next to text align center. This is the program. So our image is same laptop. Then we will see how the output looks like. Okay, center image img1, this is id, that id is for this image, id img1, margin left auto, margin right auto, display is look like block. Okay, h1 and h2 text align center, text will be in the center. We will see what is the output for this program. Clear? This is center image. We can set our image at the center point by using margin left and margin right properties. Margin left and margin right properties. Okay, are you clear? These are all the properties of css. In today's session, you can learn so many properties by referring textbook. These are the some of the properties of css. So what are the various properties I have discussed now? Image properties, border properties, and font properties, and font properties and background properties. Okay, these are the various properties discussed in today's session. Clear? Thank you.